Hi everybody, Craig here. Welcome to episode 2 of my 1.5 versus 6 Age of Wonders 3 playthrough series. In this series, I am playing against 6 Emperor AI that are on a team against me, and I do have an AI teammate who is on Lord difficulty. In this series, I'm playing as the Goblin Rogue Gnulsa Nightstar. In our last episode, we established our throne city here, and we started to kind of expand outwards and do a bit of exploring. We cleared a number of structures in the vicinity of our throne. So again, just to kind of reiterate, Boku is our throne city here. And you can see that in this playthrough, we've spawned above ground. Even though we're goblins, I had set it to default, so I wasn't sure where I would end up. In this case, we're above ground, but we're in some wetlands, which is excellent. And we started exploring out around here, so we've cleared out a number of these structures. We cleared a great farm, a gold mine. We actually looped ourselves kind of all the way around here, and we have our hero that we recruited, which is a goblin sorcerer beneath troll skin. And then you can see here that we have Gnulsa herself, along with most of the units that I started the game with, although we did add in a dread monkey, and we've gained a few other units in the meantime, like a human halberdier, as well as a tiger. And then we've started summoning some units as well. We have summoned a couple of Grimbeak crows. Now in this episode, we're going to continue kind of the exploration and hopefully start kind of working on the expansion of our empire. But before I dive into the episode, I did just want to give a couple of quick shout outs, actually to a large number of individuals who left some fantastic comments on the previous episode. The first of those set of comments I want to acknowledge is from Gladden. Gladden pointed out actually a lot of really, really good comments regarding the Wasteland expansion, especially the new race that was added. And just a reminder to everybody, I am using the Wasteland expansion and the compatibility mod to make the Wasteland expansion function with the Shadow Realm mod that I do have installed. So anyway, Gladden just wanted to point out that one thing to kind of keep in mind for this series here is that since I'm playing on an extra large map, I should probably consider using quick save before any big battles or any kind of important events, because extra large maps kind of have a tendency to cause computers to crash. So just something to keep in mind. But also Gladden's comments were kind of just describing a number of the eccentricities of the Wasteland expansion and the Nomad race that's added. So thank you to Gladden for elaborating on that and for also the reminder to use quick save. The next comments here are from Albtrom. Albtrom had a suggestion, which was during battle to use the combat log. And this is something I haven't really ever done before, but I think it's a great suggestion because sometimes, since I have the battles going a little bit faster with the triple speed, sometimes things happen and you almost don't get to really see what has happened because it goes so fast. So the combat log will maybe be a way to kind of help with that. So great suggestion there. I'll try it out in the first battle of this episode. Albtrom also pointed out that gold is probably going to be the thing that ends up being my bottleneck here at the beginning. And that's because if we look, we've got quite a large number of cities that we've actually already made contact with. So we've got halflings here. I believe we've got another halfling one up here, yes. And then we've got some draconians over here. They're not happy with us, so we're not really working with them just yet. But then we've also got ourselves some humans over here as well. So again, we have a large number of cities we've made contact with. And since we are playing Keeper of the Peace, we are going to be playing a good alignment. And so we're going to be using the vassalization approach to try to bring those cities into our empire. And that's going to end up, requiring a large amount of gold, a big investment from me. So Albtrom, I think correctly, is pointing out that gold is going to be my bottleneck rather than production. And as such, it's not necessarily needed to be focusing on a Master's Guild in my throne just yet. However, that's not necessarily a bad decision because the Master's Guild will bring me one step closer to eventually getting being the first person to have my palace in my throne city, which would provide an Empire Quest benefit. So, again, great point there from Albtrom. The next comments here are from Insert Username. Insert pointed out that we do have a flow rock quarry. Let me just see where that was. So we have a flow rock quarry down here, and if we were to put a city down there, I'm just looking to see, unfortunately, I don't think we have any near our throne city, but if we end up getting cities that have flow rock quarries that are near the coast, which pretty much all of them are going to be as this is an island map, we can actually make use of the upgrade, the flow rock citadel, which improves our machine units that we would produce. Now, of course, we're not a dreadnought anymore, so that was my previous series, not this one. So we're not going to be producing a ton of machine units, but we might consider making some boats. And I think it's a galleon, if I'm not mistaken. I really haven't used boats in almost any of my playthrough series, and it's a unit that almost never ends up getting used, at least on my part, in Age of Wonders games. Age of Wonders 3 games, I should say. But this might be a situation where, given that it's an island map, it might actually make a ton of sense. And the Flow Rock Quarry upgrade would give those boats more health. So great suggestion there from Insert. Insert also pointed out that the Rogue is excellent for playing on an island map because both the Succubus and the Shadow Stalkers are able to traverse the water as they are either flying or floating, which is huge. That's going to make things a lot easier for me. So great point there from Insert. Comment here from John Calabro. John just pointed out that both Scoundrels and Assassins are irregular units, so they'll benefit from that +8 additional movement upgrade that I think I have access to as a result of picking Explorer. So great point there from John. Another comment here from Samuel Otosh. Samuel pointed out that the final perk of Explorer actually will reveal the entire map, which is great since this is an extra large map, and with islands it's going to be a bit harder to explore potentially. So the Explorer perk, if I can kind of work my way up the chain of it, is going to be very useful for me, and I totally agree with Samuel on that one. Another comment here from Samuel Gomes. Samuel just pointed out that he was excited to see that I picked up a Dread Monkey. And this actually harkens back to a previous comment from Samuel, which basically was that... Oh, whoops, wrong character. Here we go. So the Dread Monkey, again, it kind of seems like a throwaway unit, right? It's just a tier 1 that you pick up from these structures. But the thing that Samuel pointed out to me, and I think this might have been 1 or 2 playthrough series ago, so Samuel Gomes suggested that the Dread Monkey is actually far more useful than you would initially suspect if you have characters who can do mind control conversion abilities. And the reason for this is because the Dread Monkey has Throw Filth, which can, again, inflict on the unit a disgusting stench, which is right here. And you can see the disgusting stench will actually apply a penalty of -1 resistance. And what that means is that if you have a conversion ability, like I'm going to have access to with Gnulsa here, who's a rogue, I'm going to get the access to Charm, which I believe I get at level 5, if I'm not mistaken. So basically what I can do is I can use the Dread Monkey either with Throw Filth or by walking up next to the unit with Disgusting Stench active, and I can then have a better chance of using the conversion ability. So great point there from Samuel Gomes. Excellent reminder not to throw away the Dread Monkey because it's actually going to be very useful for me. And then finally, I just want to point out there was a great conversation. It was actually kind of a back and forth between Victor Sapko and CMCK, and they were kind of discussing builders and settlers and sort of when I should think about potentially building them. Check out their exchange because it's a really, really good debate, and they both raised some really good points. So thank you to both guys for that. I think for now I'm going to hold off on builders and settlers just for the short term, but I need to also decide what do I want to do with kind of down here because it's far enough away from my throne that I'm tempted to maybe try another city, but we'll have to see. Anyway, big thank you to everybody for all of the fantastic comments. Again, I'm just blown away with all the support and all the excellent ideas and suggestions from you guys. And I really do appreciate, I didn't shout out anybody individually, but I really appreciate all the well wishes and the good luck comments because I think I'm going to need it, right? The odds are definitely kind of stacked against me in this series. So again, let's dive right in here. I know that was a longer intro, but I did want to kind of acknowledge everybody. And I think it's a good way to kind of set the stage for this playthrough as we're still in that second episode. All right. Okay, let's see. So we were pretty much at the end of our turn here. Now, I'm not going to summon any more Grimbeak Crows just yet because I am going to wait until I have better mana income. Now, this is where I was thinking about maybe doing a shrine rather than the Masters Guild. And the reason for this, although it wouldn't be the most efficient thing to build, because as you can see here, we have 63 production income. This is 75, meaning that that second turn, you're only going to be using, like, what is it, 12 production, and the rest just kind of goes to waste. So really not the most efficient thing to build, but I'm tempted to do it because then I would fix my mana income problem, which would allow me to then cast another spell and summon some extra units without having to worry too much. Yeah, this is kind of a tough call. I think I'll do it because I do want the extra unit, so we're going to do that. That's also going to save me some gold, which I can use to bring some cities in into the party here soon. Or I should say into my empire as vassals. All right, we're going to end the turn there. We should probably keep an eye on what Larissa is doing over here. Larissa already has a settler out. As you can see, her city is still quite small. Of course, as goblins, we do have a bit of a growth advantage over other races, but the settler obviously is going to take some of the population of the city that produces it. So that's another reason maybe to hold off on making a settler, at least for a little while here, because I do want my city to grow. And now that we have this great farm in the domain, that's going to be huge. And there was a comment, actually, one of the things that Victor Sapko pointed out, and I think it was from Victor. My apologies if it was from someone else, but I'm pretty sure Victor pointed out that the goblins, through their racial governance upgrades, eventually get one that can improve the income from farms. And I think it's something like it provides gold, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be super useful for me. Okay, so we have flipped over to the next turn. It looks like we have an alliance proposal from Lilac. They would like me to do a quest for them, and then I'm assuming they will become they will become my vassal, and I would get an Eagle Rider, which would be amazing. A tier 3 cavalry unit. I have to fight some nymphs. Okay, well, you know what? Let's do it. That's a great idea. We will accept that quest, and we will head over there as soon as we are able. All right, so that means we're going to have to kind of divert our main army, but before we do that, I think we want to probably clear out these orcs that are guarding this quarry. So, yeah, we've healed up a bit. I was waiting a turn or two just to give myself some health back. I think at this point we're pretty much ready to go. So let's engage the battle here. Bring our hero along as well. I kind of have to decide if I want to keep the hero with Gnulsa's stack, or if I want my hero to be leading a separate stack. Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards probably having the hero lead a separate stack, but we'll have to see if I change my mind on that one. All right, so do some damage here from range, so let's do that. Soften him up a little bit. Now, we're going to have to watch out for the Impaler, as we've got our Big Beetle Cavalry. And of course, the Shock Trooper is going to be able to dish out some pretty devastating damage, so we want to watch out for that as well. We'll probably make use of the weakening of the Blight Doctor. That's the other thing. I can use weakening, and I should have mentioned this when I was talking about the Dread Monkey, but I can use a combination of weakening from the Blight Doctor and the Disgusting Stench from the Dread Monkey to really improve my odds of charming a unit later on. So that's, I'm glad I have both those units. So I need to make sure that I keep both of them safe and don't let them basically get killed off prematurely here. All right, so yeah, we're good on movement there. The Grunt can step up, so we're gonna want to step back here a bit. I want them to basically, you know, charge in towards me here so I have better opportunities to dish out some punishment at range before they get close. Yeah, I think we're in good shape now. Okay, so the Grunts are going after my hero, which isn't entirely surprising. Oh, and I forgot, I was going to enable the combat log. So there's the combat log on the side. Now, I think I can just keep that going. So, you know what, we'll leave it up for this battle. I'm not really used to it, as it's not something I've actually ever used before, I think, but I actually didn't even realize that this was up here. So, again, thank you to Albtron for pointing this one out for me. But I like this because it does show kind of what's going on. So we'll leave it up there as the battle progresses, and you'll get sort of like a play-by-play of what's going on. Okay, so we can blast the grunt for some fairly reasonable damage. And of course, this hero does have regrowth, which will mean that we can kind of tolerate getting beat up a bit. But we obviously don't want to leave ourselves too exposed, because with a combination of damage from the priest and some attacks from the grunt, we could actually end up in kind of big trouble. So I think what we'll do is we'll do this. Yeah, very nice. So now the grunt is really quite heavily beat up. Okay, so the shock trooper is going to need some punishment here. So what we'll do is we'll step up and use weaken. And then we can actually also step our dread monkey up like this. Throw some filth. Oh, that's fantastic. And of course, we get some benefit there thanks to the weaken. Our blight damage is going to do a lot more. Very, very nice. Now, we have to be very careful because, boy, does that shock trooper inflict some nasty damage. I think we'll do this for the extra blight damage here. You know what? We'll even step one back like this. Oh, that's fantastic. Now, our half-breed might be able to get the kill. Let's see. We're going to do a minimum of 14 and a maximum of 20, so we'd have to get a perfect roll, so that's probably not going to get the kill. Yeah, and that's not going to be much better. But we should be able to get the finish in 2 hits, I think. Same with our shock trooper here. Or, excuse me, our skewer. We should get the kill in 2 hits. So, you know what? Let's do it with the skewer. Oh, fantastic. Okay. So we got the kill there. Now, the thing I want to avoid is the Impaler getting after my big beetle and causing me all kinds of problems. So what I might actually do... Like, I do kind of want my big beetle getting in there and maybe finishing off the grunt here. That would be ideal. Of course, if I do that, the Impaler is almost certainly going to attack them. Yeah, and I can't really do anything with the half-breed. You know what? I think we'll just have to kind of... We'll just have to tolerate that because I want that grunt dead just so that it's not threatening the hero. Again, I didn't think that was going to be a huge problem, but... Now, we're going to take some damage here, unfortunately. It's not going to be pretty. Oh, okay. That's fine. Actually, they went after the half-breed. I'm really surprised at that. I thought they would go in for a stab at the big beetle, but you know what? That's fine. We can go in and occupy the priest, which I think would probably be the wise choice there. You know what? Let's even do a nice flank here with the big beetle. Oh, big damage. And then the hero can come in and get the finish. Perfect. And there you can see the combat history is showing exactly what's happening. Now, our Blight Doctor, I'm just kind of looking through our units. We now have Sabotage from the Dread Monkey. That's an upgrade for being at Bronze Medal there. You can see for Veteran rank, you get access to Sabotage. Now, I would like to get the experience with Gnulsa, so we're going to step up like this and just get the kill there. Fantastic. So that clears out that structure. Some nice experience there. Level up for our Dread Monkey, for our Half-Breed, and for our Skewer as well, who is now a Silver Medal, which is fantastic. Oh, and look at this. We got some actually half-decent items here. We got a Bleak Ward, which is actually a very, very strong mount. An epic mount item. You get Overwhelm, you get Night Vision, Arctic Concealment, and Frost Protection. Now, I do believe that as Goblins, we already have Night Vision, but the Frost Protection would be quite helpful, and Overwhelm isn't so bad either. And then, of course, a shield item here, which isn't so bad either. And a little bit of extra gold is always nice. So I will happily take that reward. And what I'm actually going to do is step Gnulsa over. And I will pick those up. Now, the question is, do I want to give these to Gnulsa, or would they maybe be better off with my other hero? That's a good question. Let's do Gnulsa's level up here. So she's now level 3. Okay, we've got Stronger Than Steel, which would give all units in the hero's army armor piercing, which is pretty powerful upgrade. Counter poison is also pretty good. You get extra blight protection, which, since we're already goblins, I think we already have some blight protection. Let me double check that. Fairly certain we do. Yeah, 40%. So that would actually bring us up to 80%, which would make us almost immune. Not quite, but almost. So yeah, we'll level up here. And yeah, it's just either counter poison or armor piercing for the squad. Stronger than steel, I should say. I think we'll actually go stronger than steel since we already have the blight protection. It's less critical for us at the moment. It's something I will get eventually, but I do want to get the armor piercing because that's going to help us against if we fight dwarves or anything like that. So I think we will grab that as an upgrade. Very nice. Okay. So now we want to send this stack. Maybe we'll even take one of these units out of the group here. And I think we want to head up and start working on that quest. So let's see. We're going to take, obviously, our main units here. And then we're also going to want to grab, well, our skewer, because of the experience, is going to be very helpful. We want the Blight Doctor for sure, and the Dread Monkey. The only thing here is that this Goblin Half-Breed does have tunneling, which may come in handy if we end up going underground. So, you know what? Maybe we just... I don't think we include the hero. I think we leave the hero... the hero can go and lead one of these other armies. I think that's going to be the game plan. So what we're going to do is we'll head up this way. I'm just going to look kind of where the path is. So it's going to go that way. So we'll meet at this gold mine for now. I'll take the rest of the units here. There we go. And then we're going to head straight for the quest. Now, our hero, on the other hand, again, this is Beneath's Troll Skin. Beneath's can maybe group up with a few of these units and go start clearing out some of these other structures. We've got these two Phantasm Warriors that are in desperate need of a killing. So I think we're going to try and accomplish that for us here. We'll group our other units up. The Tiger can move over as well. And then Beneath's can move in and join them. And then we can head over and try out this battle, which I think will actually pose a bit of a challenge since we really don't have a ton of elemental damage. And they have shock protection. And unfortunately, our hero does shock damage with the ranged attack. So I think this will actually be kind of a difficult battle for me. That said, we can bring the Warg down here to join in as well. So that will help out. All right, so now let's see. What kind of upgrade should we get for our hero here? I do quite like the upgrades that provide benefit to the entire stack. I was thinking about using Beneath's as a bit of a tank, since Beneath's does have regrowth. That said, though, I think now that Beneath's is leading an army, I think it would be better to actually upgrade the army. So we'll do Charged Army. Get a little bit of extra shock damage there. Now, we had some units out and about doing some scouting for us. Now, we've made contact with this human town, it is. And I guess we could kind of keep moving this way and see what else we can find. Oh, look at this. Some haste berries, which we might as well grab because we're not going to be over here with sort of a main army anytime soon, as far as I can tell. Necromantic Circle. If we end up claiming this, eventually we're going to have to clear that out because that'll cause problems for us for sure. And let's just keep moving here and see what we can see. Okay, so another landmass over here. And we did have one crow that ended up underground. And again, just to refresh everybody's memory, here's the cave entrance. We pop back up to the surface. So the cave entrance is actually on this little island, which if we zoom out, you can see right there. Got the up-down arrow. That's telling us that there's either a cave entrance or a shadow gate that's there. So in this case, it's a cave entrance. So that's how we made it there. Now let's flip back. And let's decide now, where do we want to go? We could follow the path here. We've got some mana crystals, which would be kind of useful for us. We've also got what appear to be some haste berries up there. I was kind of heading over this way, but you know what? Now that I see those haste berries, kind of enticed by them. And I would like to grab the mana crystals, but it is kind of a waste of my movement. That said, I think it's worth getting just so that we have the extra mana crystals. And we'll just keep exploring this way. So now, since we have all the extra mana, we may as well start summoning a Grimbeak Crow. We're going to have that shrine up very shortly as well, so we won't have to worry as much about the mana upkeep, because we're going to have a little bit more mana income, so that won't be a huge problem. And I think that's going to do it for our turn, so we will end it right there. Okay, now let's go see what Larissa's going to do. All right. Larissa won a battle, it seems. Sending the Settler over there with an escort from Archdruid Hero. Looks like Larissa has a fairly beat-up stack that's moving in. Maybe to clear out some of these gold mines or something like that. Hasn't cleared out this mana node yet either, so... Looks like Larissa might have lost some units in some of these early game battles. Either that... Oh, no, maybe she just left some of them at the base. But I think she did lose a unit or two at least, which... In the early game, that can be a real devastating outcome for you if you lose units, because... You really need kind of all the units you start with, or most of them anyway, to actually be effective and clear out a lot of the structures around your throne city. Alright, so once it's our turn here, we're going to figure out where we want to cast the Grimbeak Crows. We may actually just throw it in with... Bneefs here just to have an extra unit, because right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units, so that would give us an extra unit for that stack, bring it up to 6. All right, Hamlet can discuss alliance proposal, 124 gold, and they will become our vassal. Absolutely fantastic. Now, very small, it's an outpost, but that's still fantastic. So in 5 turns, they'll be ready to join us, which would be great. As a full-fledged city rather than just a vassal. We did finish our shrine, which is great. So now you can see we're actually in the positive of mana income. That said, once we cast the Grimbeak Crow, we're going to be eating into that a little bit, but that's okay. So we actually have a boost to our production thanks to Dwarf Comet. So now that Dwarf Comet is running, we want to take advantage of that and produce something that's kind of expensive. So this might be a good opportunity to actually do the Masters Guild now that we have that boost. So you know what? Oh, that is going to eat into our gold quite a bit. You know what? Let me leave that decision until maybe we've done a few more battles and maybe we can get some gold income from some battling or something like that. So we will send our units over like this. And then we're going to throw the Grimbeak Crow in there as well, just to have an extra unit in the stack. All right, now it's saying very likely. We have to remember that recharging mana currents is going to be active in this particular battle. Nice, so the combat history is going to stay open, since I had it open in the other battle. So we have to remember that when we do damage, it's going to be healed by the recharging mana currents. So we're going to want to sort of, if we're going to attack, we want to almost, attack enough to pretty much get the kill. Okay, we'll throw our halberdier kind of in there, and our crow. Actually, our crow also has first strike, if I'm not mistaken, which is quite useful. Yeah, first strike, there it is. So, and then our Marauder can step up. We can leave our Warg Rider kind of where it is. And Bneefs can stay there as well. Now let's see what happens. Alright, so they went after the Halberdier, as expected. No big surprise there. Do some fairly reasonable damage here with our Shock Bolts. Unfortunately, we can't quite get in behind to do a flank. I mean, we could with our Grimbeak Crows, but that's going to leave them kind of vulnerable to follow-up attack from the Phantasm Warrior there. So you know what? Let's hit him with some damage here. Very nice. That actually turned them enough that I can get the flank with the Marauder and probably get the kill. Yeah, excellent there. And then I think what I might do is actually use the Warg Rider. Just park him next to the Phantasm Warrior like this. And then I'll bring the Tiger up. Step the Halberdier up. And the Crow as well. Like this. Oh, and he killed off the Crow. Dang, I'm kind of surprised he did that. But you know what? That was my fault for leaving the Crow where it was. I had already looked at how susceptible the Crow was to attack. So, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It was a summoned unit, thankfully. So, that's actually kind of fine. But a little bit annoying. And again, that was, you know, my mistake. Alright, let's step up like this. Do a flank, and then we should be able to get the kill like this. Perfect. So yeah, a little bit of an oopsie on my part losing that Crow, but thankfully it was a summoned unit, and I can summon more, so not a huge problem. We do have to remember, though, to actually clear the structure because we were using the Crow to actually move, so let's make sure we do that. A little bit of extra mana, that's not so bad right now. And then with this stack, I have to decide what do I want to do. So there are some other structures up here worth maybe checking out. We're going to have Seafaring here very shortly. And once we have that, I think maybe we'll head over here and try and grab that Draconian, the Draconian city. So maybe we'll just park right here, actually. And then we can hop in the water next turn. I think that's going to be a wise choice for us. Now, as for... here we are. I was going to say, where am I? As for Gnulsa, we're going to just keep heading for... Yeah, we've already cleared out all these structures. So we're heading over to deal with the quest. So we're not going to have any extra gold coming in from battles or anything. Although, we might have some scouting we could do to maybe see if we can find any extra gold. So let's keep on scouting here. Ooh, and look at that, a treasure chest. That's fantastic. We can grab that. That'll provide us some extra income. And another Crow over here that could keep moving. Now, do we want to go in the water or go onto this landmass? I think we'll hop on the landmass and just take a look. What we can see. Ooh, and there's some haste berries there. We'll move this way. Okay, so we didn't really find anything of note there, but that's okay. So we forged our alliance. Larissa won a battle at some point. Now, for Boku's production, you know what? I think we're just going to bite the bullet and grab the Masters Guild since we're getting that extra production income. This is shaving one full turn off of the Masters Guild. Before, when we were at 63 or whatever we were at, that was taking longer. Now that we're at 85, so it went from 4 turns to 3 turns. So I'd like to capitalize on that, even though it is quite expensive. I'm banking on the fact that I'm going to be getting a little bit of extra income from some treasure that I'll find. So we'll end our turn there. Ooh, and you know, I should probably leave something to guard my throne. It would be extremely unfortunate to lose my throne city. I did clear out... there was a spawning structure. I believe it was somewhere over here. I think it might have been right down here. I did clear that out already, so that was good. It was I can't remember the name of it, but the Scoundrel Den or whatever it is that spawns scoundrels. So that's dealt with. I haven't encountered any others on this particular island. Ooh, there's some treasure up there. So that'd be one to send a scout for. But... again, I don't want to risk it. You know, there could be one down here that's going to spawn, like one of those pirate ones out in the water that spawns draconian flyers or whatever it is. So something like that could really cause me some problems. And of course, there's always lost souls that could be floating around. So it'd be best to at least have one unit on my throne. Oh, nice. Okay, we've had an alliance proposal from Edinburgh, which is the human... I believe that's the human city. Yes, it is. Okay, race governance level up here with our goblins. We can either improve our untouchables, so they would gain projectile resistance and sprint, or goblin outposts and villages generate an additional +5 population for every wetland hex in their domain. I'm definitely going to take the economic upgrade because that is very useful. So, for example, here you can actually see that that's now benefiting my throne city because it's still a village. So now a bunch of these tiles are providing population boost. So you can see right here and all these ones over in here, you can actually see the little 5 population being added. So that's fantastic. All right, let's see how much this costs. All right, so they want 238 gold. So that's, we're going to have to drum up the money. Let's see if maybe we can do that. Again, we have that treasure chest, but I have a suspicion that's not going to be enough. Ooh, and it was. Okay, fantastic. So that was 100 gold. That's perfect. So we can go back. And we will happily accept that. So there we go. We've now got 2 vassals, one of which is actually a fairly decently sized, in this case, town. So that's excellent. Very happy to have... Oh, and look at this. So this town has phenomenal structures within it here. We've got ourselves a shrine to the guardian angel, which adds extra knowledge income, mana node, a lost city, which eventually could add temple of the eternal serpent, which basically allows you to produce feathered serpents, which are a great unit because in this particular situation with islands, feathered serpent is a floating unit, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so that would allow me to travel over water, which would be excellent. Not to mention that these feathered serpents also have healing, so they can function as a healing, a healer in a stack. And they are magical origin, which would work pretty well with my sorcerer hero. So all in all, I'm quite excited about this. And of course, I have to clear this out eventually. And then we've also got here a trading post for some extra gold income, and the mercenary camp from that can actually benefit irregular units. So yeah, this city is actually pretty incredible when you look at it. And a farm. Boy, oh boy. If it expands, too, we could even get a Forbidden Sanctum. Holy cow. This city is just stacked with upgrades there, so that's great. Okay. So we now have basic seafaring, which is great. That means we can now head off into the water. Or do I want to leave one of these units as a city guard, perhaps? Kind of tempted to maybe leave the tiger behind. I think that's what we'll do. And the rest will move along here. Oh, and look at... Oh, okay, so there's a great example of the AI stealing a city from me. So this was something that, again, I kind of anticipated that having the AI teammate would actually be almost more of a hindrance to me than it would be of a benefit. And that's why I've called this a 1.5 versus 6, because I'm not really counting it as a full extra team, extra player teammate that's going to benefit me, because A, it's on Lord difficulty, which is going to be, woefully outmatched by the Emperor difficulty AI opponents I'm up against. But also, I was anticipating that having this teammate was going to steal cities from me. So this is a city that was actually hostile with me, but apparently was friendly with Larissa and is now a vassal of Larissa. So I was actually planning to send these units over to take this over by force. Instead, now I'm going to have to figure out what I want to do, because that would have been easy. I could have just taken the city over by force with this stack and basically just had control of it. So yeah, that's a bit of a disappointment for me there. Okay, well, now we got to figure out what we're doing. So, all right, so our hero and this stack moving in. We're going to do that quest next turn, I think. So that's really good for us. Now, what do we want to research? That's a really good question. Okay, we've got a few options here. Let's take a look at what some of these do. So we have one here called Spiritual Freedom. And again, keep in mind that I don't really have a ton of experience with Rogue or with Keeper of the Peace. So a lot of this I'm kind of... not necessarily seeing for the first time, but I'm not very experienced with it. Okay, so this is a strategic spell. The city is engulfed by the harmless fire of the Keepers. All units produced in target friendly city and all units summoned within that city's borders gain meditate and become dedicated to good. Researching this spell will make your leader and heroes dedicated to good. Okay, so that's kind of the almost like the equivalent of the Shadowborn one, where you once you research it, it makes you dedicated to evil, and it'll benefit units produced in that city. So that's a decent one there. Treasure rating. Let's see. Troops receive training to turn treasure sites upside down, leaving not a single valuable behind. The value of rewards from treasure sites and gold pickups is increased by 20%. This would be one that I think would probably be the most beneficial to me earlier in the game rather than later. Although, I mean, it would be beneficial kind of just in general. But you know what? Since gold is going to be probably my limiting resource here, at least initially, I think I'm actually probably going to maybe grab this one. We've got Corrupted Killers. This is the one that when my Scoundrels level up, they would become Shadow Stalkers. Or excuse me, when they become Gold Medal, they would become Shadow Stalkers. Lesser Shadow Stalkers, which would be really good. Produce Scoundrel. Yeah, that would be good. And then I can also get a Bard, which would be fantastic. I can use that to try to convert units. But I think we'll go Treasure Rating first, and then maybe we'll go Scoundrel, and then maybe some of the upgrades for Scoundrels. You know, and yeah, lots of good upgrades for my irregular units. So yeah, we'll do Treasure Rating first just to focus on basically improving our gold income here at the moment, which is kind of low. All right, so we're going to grab the haste berries over here. And then... Oh, and look at this. Okay, we've got another city we can contact. Oh, this is a Naga dwelling. Ooh, they'd like... Wow, they would like open borders, peace treaty, and to be our vassal. Sure, why not? Let's accept that. For free, too. I didn't even have to pay any gold or anything. Wow, that's amazing. All right. So we can fly in and grab that extra mana as well next turn. Looks like there was a boneyard there. Yeah, haunted boneyard, so that could be a bit of an annoyance for us, but we'll just have to keep it in mind. I don't know if I want to maybe fly down here. It's going to be maybe a dead end, but we'll do it anyway. Okay, so there is some... Oh, nice, we've got some gold. I don't feel quite so bad about flying down here now. Ooh, and maybe I shouldn't have parked on the bridge there, because now we're potentially going to get attacked by a unit that comes out of this monster den. I maybe should have stayed in the water, but oh well. Okay, now, what do I do with Beneath's stack here? That's the big question. I could head up here and start maybe trying to clear out some of these structures. The only problem is these are fairly well defended, and Beneath's stack isn't exactly what I would call powerful at the moment. Even if I add in a Grimbeak Crow or two, it's still not exactly a strong stack, and we really don't have any ranged units either besides Beneath's. So, yeah, kind of a tough call. But that said, I think it does make sense to get in the water, and then we can figure out what to do once we're in the water and we're heading out. So that's what we're going to do there. Okay, let's end the turn there. Yeah, I'm a little bit upset about this, that this was taken by my teammate. Met Bell theme. Wonder where that is. Oh, that might be here. Oh no, okay, that's a city that was founded by the settler. Oh, maybe that's here, Bell theme. Okay, so yeah, we'll do open borders and a peace treaty with them once we're able. Once it's our turn, that is. I'm really excited about this Naga dwelling, though. That's fantastic to have a vassal right off the bat like that. I guess that's kind of one of the benefits of Keeper of the Peace, is just your relationship and your rapport with these independent cities and dwellings is so much higher that it just becomes easier and easier to get them. I think that was one of the first things that I researched, if I'm not mistaken, last episode, was improved standing with those independent cities and dwellings. So that's paying dividends already, which is great. Okay, there we go. We got the... Oh, nice, and we can grab this. We'll do a little bit of scouting here first, just because I was over here. And we'll grab this. Ooh, some more treasure. Again, it would be nice to wait for this, but I also just kind of want it now so that I have the benefit. Here's what I was talking about, the Pirate's Nest. We've got a scout and a flyer, so that can pose some real problems for me eventually. So for now, we're going to just kind of ignore it. Okay, so we're now slightly good. And oh yeah, let's make peace with... Oh, okay, I guess that offer is gone now, which is too bad. I'm not going to spend the gold on that at the moment. I just don't really have the gold to spare. So we had to level up with Beliefs, which is great. So now let's decide, what do we want to do? Ooh, we've got Spirit Shield to improve our spirit protection. That's pretty good. Magic Affinity is just a general resistance boost, which I do really like. Dragon Slayer Party increases damage to Dragon and Draconian units, which is pretty useful in certain situations, depending on what you're up against. But I think I'm going to just grab the +1 to resistance, as that's quite a useful upgrade there. Now, I'm not going to worry about this stack just yet. Let's go over and see if we can do this quest. And where is the quest? Tell me about it. Okay, so maybe they've kind of moved somewhere else here. You know what? We could clear out the gold mine while we're here, actually. We're in the neighborhood anyway. We might as well do it. Get some experience. Again, we want to get our rogue up to level 5. That would be ideal. I'm just going to shrink this down so you can kind of see the whole map here. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3 kobold units. And, of course, we've got a bone wyvern who we're going to have to watch out for because of the massive mobility, as you see here. So we'll throw this back on. All right. So we want to... I think we want to keep our important units back just so that they don't get attacked by the bone wyvern when I don't want them to be. So I think what we'll do is we will kind of turtle up a little bit here. Not that that's necessarily needed, but I think I'd rather play it safe than end up losing somebody and regretting it. Alright, so the bone wyvern. You know what, we can just throw... I think we can just throw a weaken on it. Ooh, but we have to watch out for that kobold, too. Could do a nice flank shot here. Oh, you know what? Our pikemen can do some wicked damage, so we'll do that. Very nice. And then can we... You know what? We'll get the kill with... Yeah, with our hero. This. Perfect. Now that's going to free up our Blight Doctor to step up here. And you know what? We can throw on a weaken on this one. And then we can charge in like this and attack. Meanwhile, our Dread Monkey can do some work over here. I think what we'll maybe do is we'll put our Dread Monkey right here, do some fairly decent damage, and then step up and throw ourselves in defense mode. And that'll take care of it, I think. Okay, so they did a little flank on my skewer there, but no real concern. Yeah, and I think we want the experience again with Gnulsa here. So let's do that. So now let's do a bit of calculation here. So minimum 9 damage, maximum 12 damage, it looks like. So versus 9 to 13. So once again, 9 to 12 versus 9 to 13, so we will do 9 to 13. Although, it might be better to actually... You know what, let's get them to turn around here. There we go, and then we can get the finish here. Yeah, we'll just do this. Perfect. Okay, so yeah, more experience for Gnulsa is always good. We want to get to level 5 where we can get Charm. That's kind of one of my priorities right now. Now, as for this quest, I'm thinking the unit is probably like somewhere over here. We're going to need to clear out that necromantic circle anyway, so I think what I will do is I will head over here like this. Well, you know what? We could actually do the necromantic circle right now. That'll be kind of a tough battle. Our big beetle's taking some damage. But you know what? I'm up for it. I think we'll be able to handle it. Again, this will be a difficult one in that we have to be careful. These reanimators are actually quite tough units. They're very dangerous if you kind of let them be. Now, the good news is we have resistance to the blight damage with most of our goblin units here. But we have to watch out. If any units go down, they'll raise corpse. So if any of our units die, we're going to have that problem. Not to mention if one of the reanimators dies, the other one will probably use raise corpse on it. So just something we have to watch out for. Alright, so let's move Gnulsa up. Our monkey up. Unfortunately, we don't really have, you know, great damage types for this. We don't have a ton of fire damage or anything like that. Although we do have the blow darts, which can do some fire. Which is good for fighting the undead, of course. Alright, so we'll move our big beetle up. Again, we don't want to overcommit here and end up in any real danger. I'd really like for them to attack me, but I don't think that's going to happen. I'm very hesitant to move Gnulsa up there, but I might kind of have to actually just to do a bit of work here. Yeah. Okay, there we go. What we'll do is we'll park our big beetle right here. Unfortunately, that big beetle is going to take an absolute pounding here and is going to lose some health, which is not going to be good. I think we'll be fine, but yeah, okay, we're all right. Nice, okay, and they used up. Okay, so they attacked Gnulsa instead, which was actually kind of preferable in a lot of ways there. So now Gnulsa can straight up just kill the lost soul, which is good. So that's what we'll do. Fantastic, and a nice level up there for Gnulsa. Okay, so then our big beetle will attack the reanimator. The rest of our units can't really get over to that one, which is frustrating. So, you know what, maybe instead we go over and charge this one. You know what, let's do this. Weaken. And then charge like that. Perfect. And then that allows me to get in there with my other units here and put some work in. What I will do is I will step the Dread Monkey up like this. You know what, even like this. You know what, let's sprint even around kind of behind. And then we'll do a flanking shot with some poop fling here. This is, by the way, this is armor-piercing poop, so this is super dangerous fecal matter. There it is. I just thought that was kind of funny. Alright, so now our skewers can step up and actually do quite a lot of damage there, so we will do that. Ooh, and look at that, we got a critical hit. Fantastic there. Okay. There's a kill. This one just went into defense, which is fine by me. Now, unfortunately, you know what? We do have a steel enchantment we could use to get some extra experience, but I don't think there's any units we could really... I wonder if we could maybe despair. I don't think we can steal that, though. Yeah, you know what? Let's just get the kill with Gnulsa here, if possible. Well, you know what? Let's see. Can we steal it? Oh, we can. Okay, let's do it. We'll get some extra experience, I think. So we're at 48 right now. Nice, 52. Okay, so that was a little bit of a cheapie there to farm some extra experience. And now we can get the kill like this. Very nice. Yeah, that was huge. Okay, so we had a level up for our Blight Doctor and for our Big Beetle, which is great. And, of course, a level up for Gnulsa, which is huge. Ooh, nice. Dead Man Boots. Excuse me, Dead Man's Boots, I should say. These are a pretty good one. Plus 20% Spirit Protection and then plus 1 defense. I will happily take that reward. A little bit extra mana is not so bad either. Let's just take a look here at Gnulsa. Yeah, so we'll send the boots to her. They'll get there next turn, and we can just equip them right out the gate there. So when they get there, they're already on her feet, basically. Now we can upgrade Gnulsa. So now we're at level 4. So I think Charm costs 5, if I'm not mistaken. So I actually could grab Counter Poison and still have enough left when I hit level 5 to be in good shape. So I think we'll do that. We'll grab Counter Poison. And then, yeah, we'll have 3 left, and then we'll get 5 more, so we'll be okay. Yeah, this is great because now this stack is extremely, as you can see here, extremely blight resistant, so very, very good. And yeah, even the units that don't have blight protection now have 40%, so quite good. Very happy with that outcome. All right, now let's do a little bit more scouting here, and we can grab this gold, which is quite helpful for us at this point. And then regarding where to go next, I think we'll head down this way. Yeah, and we can kind of loop ourselves up this direction. Kind of right at the bottom of the map there. So, yeah, I think we'll head up this direction with our scout here. Okay, now, tough decision here. Where do we go? Where do we go? Again, I'm kind of tempted to go to this island here. I can go and grab that Necromantic Circle and start clearing out some of these structures. I think we could actually handle this battle without too much trouble. So, I think that's what we'll do. We'll head over this way. And then I'm going to summon the Grimbeak Crow in with that stack. And then I'll start working on another one. And yeah, again, I could spend the gold, but I don't really want to at this point. I'm kind of saving it for these other cities that are closer by in case they want to join the party. I guess a bunch of them already have, so maybe it's worth doing. I mean, how much is it? Let's see. They want 81 gold. I mean, it would get us closer to, being on the path to vassalization. We're 1 turn away. So next turn, we're going to be building something else. Once the Masters Guild is done, I'll probably do maybe a laboratory or a storehouse, something like that. I'll have to decide, but I just want to make sure I have enough gold for that. Again, you know what? I hate to spend the gold on this, but I think we'll do it. And the reason for that is because now we're only 3 turns away from them wanting to be our vassal. So, again, this may be a situation where this city ends up becoming a vassal of Larissa, but we also got some good points out of it, which isn't terrible. So, and this tiger's probably going to steal that that treasure chest. Yuck. All right, we will end our turn there. Let's see what happens here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I suspected, that tiger was coming for the gold. Summoned a wisp there for Larissa. I'm hoping that these quest units move back into range of the city so I can actually attack them. What we may have to do, actually, is maybe we summon the Grimbeak Crow here and then use it to just scout over here. We grab the gold that's next to Gnulsa, and then we can fly north and maybe see if we can scout more of the city so we know exactly where this quest stack is located. And I suspect I'll be coming into contact with probably some of my opponents fairly soon if I keep exploring. You have to sometimes be careful when you're exploring, because sometimes once you encounter them, they start trying to attack you. So sometimes you might not want to find them just yet. But I think in this case, because of the islands, I think I don't have to worry quite so much. At least initially. You know, fairly soon they'll probably start. Oh, there they are. Okay, there's the quest stack. You can see you've got the little goblet there denoting them, so you should be able to just walk in and attack. That said, you know, it might still be nice to actually put the Grimbeak Crow right here, and I can grab the gold and have the crow fly off that direction, kind of to the west, I guess. Okay, so the item arrived. That was the Deadman Boots for Gnulsa. Treasure rating is now finished, so we're going to start summoning that once we're done, or start casting it once we're done the Grimbeak Crows, I think. Let's see. You know, we could even cancel this, I suppose, and switch over to treasure rating. You know, I am kind of tempted to do that. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Again, it did kind of waste a turn and a bit of the mana that I spent on the Grimbeak Crow, but I think I'd actually rather have that spell up and running, and then I can keep worrying about summoning additional crows. Alright, we'll move in here with our stack there, and let's just see what else. So again, we finished the Masters Guild, which is fantastic for us. We can decide what we want to build next. Now, we're now over 100, but of course we have to remember that that's partially due to this comet. So, yeah, that's providing us 28 extra production. So once that's gone, we're going to lose that. So might be nice to do one of these things that we can just do in a single turn here, like maybe we do the storehouse or the stone wall. You know, the storehouse wouldn't be so bad just to increase our growth rate. I think maybe we'll do that. Again, I just want this city to grow as fast as possible. Really start bringing these, you know, even getting these haste berries in for the extra production. Obviously, getting the mana node in is going to help. And the city is about to grow, so we will have the mana node shortly. Well, next turn, I guess. So, yeah, let's do the storehouse. Yeah, I think that's the wise choice there. And then we'll do this quest battle, and then I think we'll call it an episode here. So, let's take this stack. We'll move back up this way. And here we go. Okay, you know what? Actually, a fairly decent army that we're going to have to fight here. And we're going to have to watch out for the seduction attempts from the nymphs and from the charm attempts from the bards. So, you know, this is actually going to be a very difficult battle because of all the mind control that's going to be coming my way. Yeah, you know, I'm actually a little bit apprehensive about this just because of the mind control. Okay. Maybe we want to go out a little bit kind of aggressive here. So let's weaken the bard. Oh yeah, big damage there we can do. You know what, let's Let's hit him from this angle over here. Very nice. And then with Gnulsa, we can step up and get the kill here on the Bard. No problem at all. Meanwhile, I think what we'll actually maybe do is keep most of our units kind of back. Because, again, I don't really want them getting hit with the mind control stuff. A little nervous, though. Yeah, there it is, and they're going to try again. Oh, thankfully resisted. Wow, all three. It resisted all 3 attempts. That was amazing. Okay. Well, that's huge. That just changed things a lot for me. Now I don't have to worry about that. Boy, that was massive. Yeah, how are these... I'm just trying to figure out where are they... These nymphs are pointing. Towards the big beetle. I was just trying to figure out why this is a flank shot. I guess we're just enough that it's a flank. Oh yeah, big damage there. Let's try it. Not quite the kill, but pretty darn close. You know what? We might be able to get the kill with the flinging our poop here. Let's see. Yep. Very nice. And then with Gnulsa, we could charge in and do a flank shot here. And then I think with our... Oh yeah, our big beetle can just do that, which is great. You know what? Let's do this. Oh yeah, and the critical hit. Flanking backstab for the kill. That was excellent. Great way to end the battle. All right, Stop the Deviants is complete. They are now going to be our vassal, and we're going to get a Halfling Eagle Rider out of this, which is an excellent Tier 3 cavalry unit. And what's also great about this unit is that it's a flying unit, so if I need to maybe move it over to my other stack, I can do that quite easily. So I'm going to take this reward. I'm extremely happy to have that. So now what I'm thinking even is, might even be worth sending this Eagle Rider over to join our other stack over here, which is kind of understaffed at the moment. And you can see here, we really don't have much in the way of powerful units. Alternatively, we could keep this unit with Gnulsa's stack, and Gnulsa's stack would then be extremely powerful. And we might even be strong enough to start clearing out some of the somewhat stronger structures. So, you know, for example, we could probably clear out this Heart of the Glades. We might even be able to think about maybe trying out a tomb or something like that. Could definitely clear this structure out here, this item rack. So, again, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Do you think I should fold in the Eagle Rider into Gnulsa's stack and kick one of these units out? Or should I think about maybe sending the Eagle Rider over to join with my Heroes stack, with Beneath's stack here, and maybe juggling this around a bit? So let me know what you think. But I think this is a great place to leave the episode. Again, a lot accomplished here, actually. So we now have Hamlet as a vassal, we have Lilac as a vassal, Edinburgh as a vassal, and of course, Him Sasil, which is the Naga dwelling. So we did pretty darn good, actually. And despite Iru Thai being stolen, and I'm going to use stolen kind of in air quotes here, but being stolen by my teammate, again, I was planning to send my army over to clear that out myself, but no such luck. So as I said, we're going to save this one here. This is going to be episode 2. And as always, guys, thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one.